So if you're interested in hearing my opinion for the 3 best and most lucrative internet businesses to start in 2024, you are going to love today's video. For this video, I'm basically going to give you my opinion of 3 very popular but also potentially very lucrative businesses that are pretty easy to start. Now, in terms of making a lot of money at it, that takes a little bit more challenge and a little bit more nuance, all right? I'm also just going to basically share with you best practices as I know them. And you can do whatever you want with the information I'm going to share with you. If you choose to take action, you do. If you don't, it's not my problem. Number 1 is an information product. Information product sales are sexy, all right? They've been around for a while. And essentially what this is a product that you create. It can be a PDF or a document that you create that's basically a tutorial or instructions on how to do or achieve something that somebody may be interested in. Or it might be a video series. It's really all over the board in terms of what an information product can be. It also could be like a community, but communities are a little bit more challenging and hard to build, as I have come to realize with the white label empire. But the bottom line is this: information products are still amazing because A, it basically has 0 cost. It takes your time, it takes you doing the research, doing the work, creating that product, but after that, once you sell something, there's no like extra cost, right? There's not the overhead of inventory. It literally is a digital asset that you get to sell over and 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 over again, which is amazing. Which means if you sell something for $100, it's essentially $100 profit straight into your pocket. Actually, not straight into your pocket. You got to pay Uncle Sam. And if you sold it through an affiliate program or you had somebody who talked about it, you're going to have to pay them their commission. But the upside is that information products are easy to make, right? It basically takes you doing the work, doing the research, and then creating whatever that product is, all right? Little pro tip, 2 things, sex and money. If you can help somebody make either one of those or get more of each of those or one of them or both of them or all of them, you're going to be wildly successful. You need to solve a problem. If you're solving somebody's problem of how to get girls, how to make more money, you're going to be successful. Actually, I should say you're going to be more successful, right? Antonio Centeno, style system, right? That's a style information product. It could also be an e-product like an ebook, right? You could sell it on Amazon. You could sell it a lot of different places. You have your website, you drive traffic if you have an audience, and then you sell tons of them, all right? The downside to information products, in my opinion, is that it's hard to create an audience, right? Because once you have it, then it's about how are you going to market it? Who are you going to market it to? And how are you going to get it in front of the people that would potentially want to buy it? And so if you have a large audience, good, right? Good, great, that's amazing. If you've built and collected a bunch of people and they believe you, trust you, they're on your Instagram channel, they're on your YouTube channel, they're on your Facebook page, they're wherever, these are great people that would potentially be interested in buying your product. Now, what most people do, and I'm just going to give you another little cheat code, most people that are selling information products have taken somebody else's information product that they bought, taken it, modified it, created their own, and sold it. But what if you create an information product and you don't have an audience, right? Well, there are other options for you to sell it, right? And there are different websites that basically are for information products that other people that do have audiences can go and be like, yeah, that looks cool. I'm going to take it. I'm going to promote it to my audience. I'm going to have an affiliate link, and then they're going to earn a commission for everyone that they sell, which is awesome. Once again, if you have a product and it's $100, you give an affiliate deal to somebody, say it's 50%. They earn 50%, right? You're paying them $50, but you're keeping 50. Once again, there's basically 0 cost tied up into that product. And so it's basically free money. Number 2 is drop shipping, which is sexy, right? It's sexy now. Everybody's talking about it. So what is drop shipping? All right, drop shipping essentially is you go out and you source products that you think are cool, right? And then you have a website that you basically list all these different products, right? It can be from one company. It can be from multiple companies. It's really up to you. And then you start promoting your website or these products through your channels, through your community, through your outreach, through however you want to promote it, right? And then what's going to happen is when they go and buy it, right, you're going to send the order to the manufacturer of this product, and then they're going to ship it out, all right? And you are basically going to earn almost like a commission or the delta between what you can buy it from them or what they're charging you and what you're actually selling it to your audience. So let me give you an example. This wallet. Say you found this wallet and you're like, yeah, that's awesome. I want to basically charge $100 for this wallet. But you know that the people you're buying it from, or the drop shipper, they're going to charge you $50. And so basically, you're going to pay them $50 and then you're going to keep $50. It's kind of like an affiliate deal to some degree, right? Now, the downside to drop shipping, actually, let me go over the upside. The upside to drop shipping is there's very little startup expense, right? The expenses are going to be you creating a website and basically you marketing whatever you're going to market. Other than that, you're not having to carry inventory, all right, which is amazing because inventory is kind of like dollar bills sitting on the shelf. You've got to put out cash, which we're going to talk about in a second with the next option. And then until you sell through that, they're going to be just sitting on the shelf and the dollar bills are going to be tied up, all right? But with drop shipping, you don't have that issue. You don't have to worry about that. What you do, however, have to worry about is your vendor being accurate, your vendor being speedy when it comes to shipping, and you also need to make sure that the products don't suck, right? And so it requires you to do a lot of testing. And that's the thing. A drop shipper is only going to be successful if they find successful, great vendors and drop shippers that basically sell their products, all right? Because if you're selling something that's shit and they don't do a good job, the customer gets it, your reviews are going to be terrible, and it's going to be horrible. But it's a very, very lucrative business if you basically have an audience, which brings me to another downside, and that is audience. You need one. Typically for any type of like drop shipping system to work, you need to have a built-in audience. Now, some of you are like, wait a second, what about Amazon? What about Amazon? Amazon drop shipping, that whole business model is not as big as it used to be. And there are a few different reasons why, but it's an option, right? And basically what that means is you basically build an Amazon store and you sell the products instead of having the audience like a YouTube channel that's going to your website. Basically, you're listing them or building a store on Amazon. Now, the good news is that typically Amazon has a huge reach, right? And by typically, I mean they have a huge reach, which means if that is the storefront that you're going to be selling, then that's great. The downside to selling on Amazon, there are a lot of downsides to selling on Amazon, all right? Number one is it's expensive. It's expensive to list your products with Amazon. I should say it's not expensive to list, it's expensive to sell because Amazon is going to take essentially, like, it depends on like your product, it depends on everything. Like if you're doing FBA versus FBM, and that's basically fulfillment by Amazon or fulfillment by merchant, all right? Fulfillment by merchant is basically the drop shipping scenario where you're basically placing the order, you're listing the item, somebody's buying it, and then you get it, and then bang, it ships directly to the drop shipper, and then they send it out. Keeping the remainder of what the drop shipper is charging you for that product and what Amazon is taking, and then you are keeping the stuff in the middle, all right? So another example, here's a wallet. You're getting it for $50. You're selling it on Amazon for $100, but Amazon now is taking, call it $20, right? And so you're actually now keeping $30. But once again, you didn't have to actually have inventory, which is amazing. And so once again, it is a lucrative business. But if you've got an audience, it's also very lucrative or potentially lucrative, right? If you go out, you source a bunch of products, and then you sell it to your audience or promote it to your audience and you say, hey, I got great wallets, or I've got wallets, I got glasses, I've got cell phone cases. Hit the link down below, you're gonna love it, right? You can curate and cultivate a huge collection of different items. And that's the other beautiful thing about drop shipping. You basically can have unlimited amount of items there. And so that's a great option. Another option that's similar to drop shipping is print on demand. So if you've got a big following or you've got like, I don't know, like a slogan or funny t-shirts or whatever, you could have a website where you're advertising the t-shirts or the slogans or whatever, people would buy it, and then bang, you're doing the print on demand where you actually send the order to the person or the big like print on demand company, and whether or not it's a mug or a t-shirt or whatever, they print everything on it and then bang, they send it, they ship it. But once again, this is more of a drop shipping scenario. But before we get on to the third option, which is white labeling or private labeling, you got to understand this. One of the other downsides to drop shipping is that you don't own the brand. It's not your brand of products. It's the brand of the company that's drop shipping it, right? And so scaling it and growing it really big is difficult on your own, all right? Because once again, it's not your brand and you're not actually building anything of value. One of the goals for, a product or a company, if you're going to be starting a company and you want to grow it big, a lot of people there are two different ways of looking at it, right? A lot of people want to basically grow it real big and then sell it to some bigger, larger entity. That's like dream scenario, meaning like if I started Tiege Hanley, right? I grow it real big, somebody in a few years wants to buy it and I sell it for $100 million, right? Awesome. But the other option is the Pete and Pedro option, right? Where you build a brand and it's a lifestyle brand, meaning you're gonna basically start a business and then you're focusing on the profitability and you're making money, right? Pete and Pedro last year made me over $2 million like in my pocket after like all expenses, which is awesome. The profit margin is great. And how you run that business and how you grow it is also very different, right? If you're trying to just grow a big business because you're focusing on top line and not paying attention to bottom line, your business is going to suffer. Now, another little pro tip for you guys out there that are thinking about starting a business and then trying to grow it really big. Nowadays, people are not paying, or big companies that are acquiring, or private equity firms are not acquiring businesses based solely on top line. They don't care about that as much as they do bottom line or the profitability. So now, more than ever, it's more important to actually run a solid business as opposed to just trying to grow a big, fat, sloppy, wasteful company. But this brings me to the third and final option, and that is white labeling or private labeling. They basically mean the same thing. All right. So as you guys know, I started the White Label Empire. Basically, this is a community that is designed to help people basically figure out what product they want to sell and then help them through every step of the process. Everything from marketing, website setup, product proliferation, marketing. Did I mention marketing? How to get it on Amazon, how to sell it on Amazon. Now, the reason why I love white labeling or private labeling, all right? A few reasons. I'm going to go over the pros, but then I'm also going to go over the downside because there are downsides in all of these scenarios. All right, upside, you're building your own brand. All right. And the other cool thing is that you don't actually have to go through the headache or aggravation of trying to build prototypes and anything like that, right? Essentially, it goes like this. You've got an idea. I want to sell wallets. You go on the website, right? Or different websites like, AliExpress or wherever. There's also things that are made in America or wherever, right? Lots of different websites. You type in private label leather wallet. You're going to get a bunch of results, right? And then it's your job to reach out to these different manufacturers, get a few different samples, see which one you like the best, and then work with them in order to create your brand. And what's going to happen is they're going to stick your logo on it. But the other cool thing is that you can customize it, right? You can customize it like I did with Enemy. Same process though. You go through the process of finding, sourcing, getting samples, and then working with the vendor in order to basically build your product because it's your product. Even though it's got your label on it and somebody else may be selling it, it's all about the marketing. And that's the thing. Any of these businesses really does rely on marketing, all right? So with white labeling, you basically have an idea. You want to create your own brand, whether or not it's skincare, it's body care, it's hair products, it's jeans, it's penis pumps, like whatever. You can literally white label anything that you can think of. You could also go to a vendor that's making it that might not necessarily be white labeling it and say, hey, I'm interested in basically you selling me your product, and would you mind like selling it to me as like a wholesale agreement, but just put my logo on it. A lot of people and manufacturers out there would love to do that because A, it's basically free money and it's money that they wouldn't have. Now they're not making as much because they're not selling D2C or direct to consumer, but the truth is they're still making enough. Say, give you an example, all right? Say a company makes this wallet for $20 and it's going to wholesale it for $40. So they're going to sell it to you for $40 and then the end user is going to sell it for $100, right? The bottom line is they would never have made that $80 because they're not having your customers. And so they would rather make the $20 wholesale by selling it to you, putting your label on it, and then letting you worry about the rest. Now, one of the downsides to private label or white label is that you're going to typically have to carry inventory. And like we said, inventory is dollar bills sitting on the shelf. And so you got to make sure that you don't overdo it when it comes to inventory. Don't overestimate. In my opinion, it's better to underestimate. You can always order more, but you got to understand and figure out the life cycle of how often you need to order, what is the turnaround time, and all that good stuff. Now, in terms of how to sell your white label product, you basically have a few different options. You could wholesale it, meaning you create a product, you reach out to people that would potentially like to sell it, like retailers. That's a great option, right? The good news with doing that is that you're going to have big orders. And then when you have big orders, even if you're making less money, it's still more money or money that you wouldn't have had, right? But there is some risk and downside to actually selling wholesale to big retailers. Number two is you can sell D2C or direct to consumer. All right. This is basically, you've got two different options for that. You've got your website or your .com business, or you could basically sell it on a platform and a store like Amazon, right? Or Walmart.com, or TikTok Shop, right? There are a lot of different shopping platforms now that are amazing and really add to the scalability of your product. The other upside to you white labeling it or private labeling is that it's yours, it's your baby, right? And even though you're not making like as much like as you would like an information product, you're still making great margins. You just got to make sure that when you start advertising that you figure out the customer acquisition cost and you have it be low enough that you can actually make a profit. You also need to know the LTV or the lifetime value of that customer in order to really figure it out. But you could also do affiliates, which is another very common practice, and that is affiliate programs for your white label product and business. In my opinion, white labeling is something that I know, I've done it a bunch of times, and I love. And if you guys are interested in doing that or getting more information, why don't you watch the video that I put together for you down below? It goes into more details about starting that business. I actually put together a 20-minute video that basically walks you through step-by-step starting a business and actually selling and how to market it and all that good stuff. Once you watch that, if you're interested in actually joining the White Label Empire, that's the community where we actually take it next level. There are 32 lessons in the White Label Empire curriculum that you go through, and basically it walks you step by step through the process. And if you're not somebody that is interested in getting in front of a camera or trying to build an audience on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, that's no problem, because in the community and course, I actually share one of the secrets that has allowed Tiege Hanley and Pete and Pedro to scale without me. All right, there are lots of ways, but one way specifically is super affordable, and it's a great way to get UGC content, user-generated content, which is other people talking about your products for like super cheap. And it's a great way because then you can take their content and they advertise it on their platform. They send it to you, you take it, advertise it on your platform, and it's a way for you to basically grow and look super big without spending a lot of money and also drive sales. But like I said, that's one of the secrets that we share in the White Label Empire community. Anyway, if you guys are interested in white labeling or drop shipping, we've got courses and curriculum in the community and the White Label Empire for both options. I actually had my assistant Debbie go through and create a tutorial on basically how to start drop shipping, and the steps other than like where to source things are basically the same. The other thing that I share in the community is a resource that I recently found to find amazing products that are all like made in the US that are super high quality. Anyway, it's all in the community. If you guys are interested in joining, I'm going to link down below to the White Label Empire. Go watch the video if you're interested in joining, getting more information, and doing something together with the community, because that's the thing. The community is all about building each other up, helping each other, and supporting each other. Everybody's at different stages of their business in the community, which is amazing. So people that are a little bit further ahead are coming back to help people that are just starting. People that are just starting are asking in the community different questions about different things, and we're there. I'm there. I'm doing literally live weekly training, 2 hours. I'm live every week. If you can't make the training, you can watch it after the fact. We post everything. I'm in there. You know, I'm answering emails. I'm in the community. I'm in the general chat. I'm basically using all 20 years of my business experience in doing white labeling and, well, basically I've done a lot of things. I've done brick and mortar, I've done white labeling, I've done custom manufacturing like Tiege Hanley. I've also done enemy shades, I've done the fashion anchor, I've done a community, I have done an info product, I've done a lot of shit, right? Some of it has been successful, some of it has not been successful, but I take all the information, all the knowledge, and basically try to help you avoid the speed bumps and the hurdles while simultaneously basically helping you get to the front of the line and giving you like a cheat code to actually be successful. And that is my goal with this community. And it's also to build just a network of people that are supportive of each other, because one of the things that I found as an entrepreneur is that it's lonely, very lonely. And so having camaraderie, having and surrounding yourself with people that get it, that have been there, that got the t-shirt, or that are all basically have the same mindset, moving in the same direction, it's not only inspiring, it's uplifting, and it helps keep you accountable and moves you forward. So anyway, I just wanted to share. Those are my three: info products, drop shipping, white labeling. Those three are amazing businesses to start in 2024. They're easy, low cost, low overhead. One of them is literally like free money if you can figure out a way to market and sell it. But there's always a way. But you have to take action, and that is the missing piece to all three of these businesses. It's you taking action, doing the work, stepping up, and figuring it out.